Did you know that a single foreign country holds over $1 trillion of United States government debt? That country is China. This single startling fact often sparks a profound and unsettling question. Who actually runs the world? In our modern, interconnected global system, the lines of power are no longer drawn solely by military might or territorial conquest. Instead, influence is often wielded through financial instruments, trade relationships, and economic dependencies. The idea that money translates directly into power is an ancient one, but its modern application has become incredibly complex, creating a web of mutual reliance and potential conflict. The relationship between the United States and China is the central arena where this new form of power politics plays out. For decades, the U.S. has been the undisputed global leader, its influence built upon a foundation of economic dominance, military supremacy, and a network of international alliances. However, China's meteoric economic rise has introduced a new, powerful actor onto the world stage. By becoming the world's factory and accumulating vast foreign exchange reserves, China has acquired significant financial leverage, most notably through its massive holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds. This financial entanglement raises critical questions about vulnerability and control, forcing us to consider whether traditional notions of power are still relevant in an age of globalized finance. Understanding this dynamic is crucial to comprehending the forces that shape our world today. China's primary tool of global influence is undeniably its immense economic weight, often deployed through strategic loans and investments. Over the past 2 decades, Beijing has embarked on ambitious initiatives, most notably the Belt and Road Initiative, financing and building infrastructure projects like ports, railways, and power plants across Asia, Africa, and Europe. These projects are framed as mutually beneficial partnerships that foster economic development in recipient countries. However, they also serve to extend China's geopolitical reach, creating a network of nations tied to Beijing. When a developing nation's new port is financed and built by a Chinese state-owned enterprise, China gains a strategic foothold. This strategy, as some critics call it, gives China a powerful lever of influence, as was seen with the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, China's massive holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds represent another significant, albeit more complex form of financial leverage. Trade surpluses accumulated vast reserves of U.S. dollars, and investing in safe liquid U.S. government bonds was logical financially. This created a symbiotic relationship. China parks capital, America finds a willing buyer. The theoretical power is clear. A sudden sell-off could spike U.S. rates and royal markets. The mere threat, some argue, gives Beijing a bargaining chip. The financial nuclear option, dumping U.S. treasuries, is potent in theory, weak in practice. If China initiated a massive sell-off, it would hurt the United States, and it would also inflict severe damage on China. A sudden flood would collapse the value of China's remaining holdings. By trying to crash U.S. markets, China would be burning its own savings. Mutual destruction is a powerful deterrent. The system is deeply interconnected. A U.S. shock risks a worldwide recession, decimating demand for Chinese exports and crippling its economy. Few markets can absorb capital like the U.S. Treasury market. A flight from the dollar needs a viable alternative, euro, yuan. Neither has the depth or trust to replace it at scale. Thus, China is a captive creditor. In the face of China's rising influence, the United States wields a multifaceted arsenal. The first is tariffs, taxes on imported goods. Strategically raising tariffs makes targeted goods more expensive, reducing demand and pressuring exporters. The recent trade war applied tariffs to hundreds of billions in Chinese goods to force changes. But tariffs are blunt. They raise domestic prices and disrupt supply chains. Costs rise for import-reliant firms, risking job losses and slower growth. Tariffs require careful cost-benefit calculation and precision. The second, and perhaps most formidable tool, is the global dominance of the U.S. dollar. It is the primary reserve currency, and key commodities like oil trade in dollars. Dollar centrality links energy, credit, and reserves to U.S.-anchored finance. Washington can limit access and, via sanctions, freeze countries, companies, or individuals out of global finance. Finally, unparalleled U.S. military power backstops its influence. A globe-spanning network of bases and alliances deters aggression and stabilizes key regions. Presence in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait signals resolve. The complex situation surrounding Taiwan is a perfect case study. Beijing considers Taiwan a renegade province that must eventually be reunified, by force if necessary. China relies on economic pressure and influence. It is Taiwan's largest trading partner, creating opportunities and vulnerabilities. Interdependence rewards friendly parties and punishes moves toward independence. Beijing uses loans, infrastructure projects, and trade deals to buy recognition and isolate Taipei. The goal? Create inevitability around reunification and shrink Taiwan's diplomatic space. The United States counters to preserve the status quo. Strategic deterrence underpins U.S. policy, backed by the Taiwan Relations Act. Arms sales, advanced jets, missiles, and defense systems bolster Taiwan's self-defense. Regular naval transits send a clear signal to Beijing. Washington pushes for Taiwan's inclusion in forums and rallies allies to deepen unofficial ties. The dollar and sanctions loom as deterrents to destabilizing actions. Ultimately, Taiwan reveals China's economic magnetism and debt diplomacy versus America's deterrence, alliances, and financial control, a precarious daily balance. While headlines frame a US-China showdown, it is a mistake to see global power as just two players. Middle powers, Japan, Germany, India, Russia, and the European Union, can tip the balance. Trade choices, technology standards, and security partnerships distribute power. China seeks centrality through infrastructure. US power is amplified by alliances. Transnational challenges require coalitions more than coercion. Standards and rules, from finance to data privacy, are also tools of power. So, who actually runs the world? No single entity does. Power is shared, with the United States and China as two poles of influence. Washington wields dominance of the dollar, unrivaled military strength, and robust alliances. Beijing leverages trade, strategic investments, and creditor power, potent but risky. The stage is a tense equilibrium between US strategic power and China's economic ascent. Every tool has limits. Mutual vulnerability turns coercion into interdependence. The decisive question is which vision for the global order proves more attractive and sustainable, transactional ties, or shared values and alliances. How the US, China, and rising powers answer will define the century. Influence may hinge less on coercion than on the ability to persuade, innovate, and partner. In an interconnected world, leadership is coalition building. Debt, dollars, tariffs, and troops all matter. But none alone decides outcomes. Flashpoints like Taiwan reveal the risks of miscalculation and the pull of interdependence. Power today is fluid, distributed, and constantly negotiated. No one runs the world. Many steer it, together and in competition. The true nature of power lies in the complex, often tense interplay between money, markets, militaries, and minds. The balance keeps shifting. The question is not who controls the world, but who can build the future most others choose to join.